So last week I was out in the ocean, probably up to my waist. It was like dusk, 6:30, 7 o'clock. Jack and I are kind of like splashing around, having fun. And then there's this couple, probably like, I'm going to say 200, 250 feet away from us. And the woman is moving her hands up and down and waving at us. And I've learned in Florida that either means three things. It means that there's lightning, that there's a shark, or that there are sea turtles hatching. So we were stoked to find out that it actually was the third of the three sea turtles, baby sea turtles, that kind of had me thinking about the connection with Finding Nemo. So we're going in some interesting places here. And really the bottom line about just keep swimming. And so if you look at the life of a baby sea turtle, it's pretty spectacular, where they go from hatchlings to now the elements really are almost really against them, kind of going towards the water, pressing forward. And there are so many different factors that kind of go against them, but they just keep going. They just keep swimming. And whether that be the danger of the heat, right? Depending on when they hatch, or whether it be snakes, whether it be humans not knowing that there's a nest and stepping on the eggs, to a bird hovering up above and coming in and snatching them. There's a whole lot of factors to them actually getting into the water and all the different things that can work against them. Now, what I want us to think about a little bit is that there are a lot of elements that work against us. But our mindset, right? I'm watching these little dudes, right? I mean, it is one big ocean ahead of them, but they just kept going. Waves kept coming in, pushing them back. For every 12 inches, they got thrown back maybe 18 inches at a time, but they just kept going. And how fantastic that was, where it was this, whether they realized it or not, this mindset of just keep swimming. Just keep going, just keep pushing ahead. And it's really like riding the tides for us when the waters get tough. It's this mindset of refraining from thinking really of the end, right? If the sea turtle, the little dude is like, okay, it's in 10 years, statistics show this in terms of my survival. I've got this, kind of working against me when it comes to in the ocean, these factors, because what that does, it gets us tired, both physically and emotionally. Absolutely. But it's instead allowing ourselves to go through the process. Absolutely easier said than done, but it's living in the present and pushing forward towards the future, but not allowing our mindset just to be overcome and almost distraught with what elements lie ahead of us. It's instead kind of replacing that mentality with using the process, using these elements, this journey, right, to grow and become better, to become stronger. It's such a beautiful thing when we're able to, whether, we're not there yet, working towards that mentality. If we're there, it's fighting to maintain that mentality. And it's so interesting. One of my favorite characters in Finding Nemo is Crush. I just love him, right? The big dad sea turtle that's, kind of rocking and rolling, on his way to Australia, and he's got his little boy Squirt with him, right? And so Nemo sees Crush just say, yo, go for it, man, to his little dude. And Nemo bugs out, what are you doing? And Crush looks at him and really says, it's taking things in stride. And sometimes you just have to let things go, right? Sometimes you just have to let things go. And we can get really worked up in life, we can get overwhelmed. And one of the quotes in Finding Nemo is, well, you can't never let anything happen to him. Then nothing would ever happen to him. And we can kind of get in points in our life where we look ahead. Holy smokes, I have all this stuff that's ahead of me, all these elements, all these factors that, am I going to even be able to get through it? And so I'm not going to do this, or I'm going to allow fear, right? Or the skepticism to hold me back from really living. And if Nemo, his dad, Marlin, boom, got that, wanted really to keep his little dude safe, as we all do as parents, but to the extent, because he was driven by fear, what he experienced earlier before Nemo was born, it's an element of fear that would deter his little dude from really living. Are we looking ahead like those little sea turtles and looking at everything ahead of us? I can't do it. I know in 6 months this is going to happen. I know in a year. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's beginning to kind of reel those thoughts in and saying, this is now. And I'm striving towards the future, but my mindset is like crazy, crazy, crazy important. And it's hard. All of us have different wiring and personalities where, allowing things to kind of roll off our back is easier for some than others. But just like Crush, sometimes it's just letting things go, whether that be the fear ahead of us or the things that can just drive us crazy train, right? I'm a big believer in trying to find the joy in the small things. Trying our efforts, striving to just keep things in perspective. Because I think that is a very, very valuable and important thing, keeping things in perspective. We can get caught up in this mindset of holy smokes, this is just, I can't take it. It's kind of like Moreland, who was on the edge of, the reef drop-off point, and he's looking ahead, and it was all, no way, we're not going past this point. And were there elements that were working against them? The pull of the tide, the fishermen up above the water, different jellyfish, whatever. But we kind of replace that with different elements in our own life, right? Different timelines, whether that be within our job, whether that be situational or something, emotional or relationships, fill in the blank. Lots of change, man. And it's, I believe it's learning to train our minds, right? To begin replacing the negative, the skepticism with positive. I know for myself, just praying like, God, dude, give me peace, just give me direction and seeking wisdom, because my mind can go a million miles an hour. I think I'm fairly laid back, but I'm also not laid back. I've got so many things going on in my life. It's okay. How do we kind of reel things in a little bit? But I know for a fact that mindset and trying to not get stuck, right? Like sticky stuck on the negative, on the what if, and pushing forward. And so part of that, just as like Marlin's sitting on the edge of that reef drop off, right? He had to go outside of his comfort zone when his little dude was snatched up by fishermen, by not fishermen, by the dentist guy who caught him, right? And to bring him to his practice, and okay, we've got to go to Sydney. Where is that? And life is a journey. It could be so scary, but it's funny if you look from that point in the beginning of the movie where it was like, yo, Nemo, no, you can't go here. Nemo, I don't know this about the life of a sea turtle. I don't know, to the end where it was like, he lived. His little dude, yeah, it was scary, right? But it was a journey, and life is a process. Life is a journey. Life happens, and life can be scary. And life sometimes can be like that wave that's kind of coming in at us, right? Like the little sea turtles, and push us back a little bit. We can get stung by the jellyfish of life sometimes, man, and it hurts, right? It's taking a deep breath and just keep swimming, allowing our mindset to just maintain positivity, and also, right, finding those people that can continue to feed that positivity, right? Being real, being grounded, but being positive. It's seeking wisdom and people to just kind of encourage you when you're tired. You're going to get tired. Those little sea turtles, I'm watching them push back, keep going. And they just kept going. They were tired. But when we also keep going, and it's making a phone call, it's sending a text, if we can meet somebody for coffee, and just blowing off steam, looking for perspective, looking for wisdom, right? The life of a sea turtle is not easy, nor was it intended to be. The life of a human being is not easy, nor was it intended to be. But I believe with all my heart, when we just keep swimming and we maintain positivity, but it's also, right? And I don't know if sea turtles talk, right? But if you're getting smashed by those waves, it's looking at the person next to you and it's asking for help when we need it. It's swallowing our pride and asking for help, whether that's the little literal situation, whether it's, man, I'm tired. Man, I've been struggling with depression. Man, I've been so funky. I started drinking a lot, right? Or I started popping pills because it's going to help me stay awake. And then I need pills now to keep me sleeping. Like life happens and we can be super weirdos sometimes when we get in this mindset, like, because it's personal. I'm not in a good place. It's okay. But it's allowing ourselves to kind of reach that little flipper out. Yeah, I need help, man. I need help. It's seeking help. It's seeking support. It's seeking that net that will allow us to just keep swimming. And whether that's counseling, whether it's having that wingman, that person in life, whether it's, just through prayer, just going and going and going. Because when we try to just go at it alone, the elements against us are so much higher. They really are. Just keep going. And we're in a state right now when it comes to mental health, when it comes to, drugs and all this other stuff that's just, trying to go at it alone. It's just not okay. Okay, it's just keep swimming, but it's not going by ourselves with just keep swimming, right? Because then we're bashing into that coral reef. We're getting stung by those jellyfish. It's going, boom, and seeking help and support and encouragement. So that swim, that pursuit is all the more fluid and easier and healthier, and boom. So my friends, just keep swimming.